Cricket is my passion and I cannot avoid it.
Hello and welcome to all the beautiful people of UAE and around the world. Today, I have two special guests from the UAE cricket team who made the nation proud by qualifying for the T20 World Cup, which is happening in Australia this October. I have the captain, Raza, as well as the new batting sensation, Vriitya. Welcome to both of you guys.
Thank you very much, Anis bhai.
Thank you.
First, let me come to the captain, Ahmed. Uh, Qualifying for the World Cup, how does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great, and it's a dream come true. We waited for 7 long years, and and all this while when we went, especially after missing out in the 2019, all we spoke about in the last 2.5 years was, we can't let this opportunity slip away, and all our focus, all our hard work, all our our mindset was all towards this qualification, and now a week to this day was the day when we beat Nepal and made it to the World Cup.
Brilliant. I can understand. And as you mentioned, the last T20 World Cup which you all played was, I think, was in Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. I think Bangladesh, where you all had made it.
Bangladesh.
And then the 50-over World Cup was in Australia in 2015. Nonetheless, let me come to you, Vriitya Aravind. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, spot on.
So, let me tell you, all the fans of Gulf News and people around, I have a young boy who's just 19 and who has been the highest scorer of the World Cup, 267 runs in 5 innings, with a strike rate of 154. How does that feel, Vidya?
It honestly feels good, because I've been in the team for the past 2 years, and for the first time, my performance is helping like the team to win. So it's good to be part of that.
All right. So let me come to you. The first match, you set it up against Ireland. You remember you guys won by 18 runs, but you missed the century. In fact, you were not out on 97. Did you regret missing that 100?
Nah, I'll take 97 and a win any day of the week, because I scored my 50 on the 16th or 17th over, and that was the last 3 overs. So I wasn't really checking the score, but once I finished batting, I saw it was on 97. So I'll take that any day of the week. It's fine.
Okay, you've been very modest. That's nice. Ahmed, let me come to you again. Ireland has been playing international cricket for a long time, even though UAE has been playing, but they have been getting more exposure because they've played more World Cups. So, starting with a win against them, how was that feeling?
It was great, and Nisba, I've seen the both sides of the spectrum. Playing against Ireland, I've been of the part of the team when we couldn't register a win against Ireland. We had very poor record, against Ireland, be that T20 or ODIs. And now on the other side of it, we've beaten them in the last ODI series. It was level, I think, 1-1, and then going into T20s, we've beaten them 5 times on the trot. And two of the occasions were just last week, part of the World Cup qualifiers, and one of them was the big final as well. So it feels really good that when we going to play against Ireland, now we always have the confidence of beating them. And I've been part of that team as well, where we would be very doubtful about our own selves when we were going up against the Irish team, because obviously they're a very good team. They have a test status now, but now when we go against them, we know that we have the upper hand, and there's a self belief that we cannot lose to them.
So, you told me that before this, you could not beat them. You used to come close and they used to get away because of the experience. But suddenly, what has happened that you have beaten them now 5 times in a row, even though it's the shortest format, which is so unpredictable?
I think it's all about self belief, and I probably we lacked that, say, 5 years ago or 6 years ago, when we couldn't register a win against them. But the self belief which is there in this dressing room and this set of players, I think it's really good, because we don't see any teams being superior to us. When we go to the ground, and when we prepare for the opponent, we feel that we can beat them with our discipline, with our skills, and we are far better skillful than any opponent we come up against.
Pritya, let me come to you. Like Ahmed said, that the self belief. Now, the self belief doesn't come overnight. It comes with a period of time. So, how does that, how does that, how it has come about? I would like to ask you.
I think it's all about the preparations we did. So we started preparing for the World Cup 6 months before. And once you work hard, once you train for it, you actually you start believing in yourself. I think that's what happened.
And I believe you all played some warm-up games. I would not call warm-up games. You all played some games against Oman and Ireland leading to the World Cup. So tell us about that, because there also I think you all beat Oman and Ireland regularly.
Yeah, so we had 3 one-day internationals against Oman first. And it was good because we won 2 games and we tied 1 game. And then it was good to play in the same conditions we play the World Cup in. We got to experience like the same wickets. We know about the wind. We know about the ground dimensions, everything. So that kind of helped us in the World Cup. And then we played the quadrangular series for the T20 series, and that's where we played against Ireland as well. So we got a chance to play against them, and again we beat them over there. So it gave us good confidence going into the World Cup.
All right. Raza, second game against Germany, were you guys a bit complacent that you guys scored big, but you allowed them to score 167?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it being complacent. I think they took us by surprise. I definitely say that. And they're a very, very talented team, and it was the first time ever we were playing against them. So the element of surprise these teams have against you, it's obviously evident. And but I won't say we were complacent. I think we were taken by surprise, that's for sure. But we had done our homework before turning up for that game. The work which our analyst Karthik puts in, it's great. I mean, we had a fair bit of look into each and every player's strengths and weakness. But T20 is such a funny game that you one performance here and there can actually really dent your plans and everything. And I think German players did that. And I said this in one of my interviews that we're going to see a lot more of German cricket team in the future.
So, Vriitya, now coming to the third game against Bahrain, where you guys were locked with Ireland, and if Bahrain beats you, they also have equal number of points. Then the net run rate comes. You all know about it. So going into that match, when they put up 172 runs, were you under pressure?
Yeah, because first of all, we didn't expect them to score 172 runs, because it was not a very easy wicket to bat like the other ones, because we played in a new ground for the first time. And we lost early wickets as well. So that did put us on the back foot. But I always thought if we had wickets in hands, we could try and get as close to the target as possible. And if you take the game deep, I think the last 2 overs, you can, of course, cover up and score 15, 20 runs.
I remember watching that game on the live stream. And at that time, you said you lost early wickets and your strike rate till the middle of the innings was less than 100 or around 100. And you had to score, if I'm not wrong, to qualify. I mean, I'm sure your analyst must have told you that what is the runs you require to go ahead of, what was that score, 156?
Yeah, so we knew we had to get as close as possible to the total, but we didn't know the exact number till the other game finished. So I think it was around the 10th over, they sent a message saying we had to score 156 runs, 157 runs. So that's when we were like, okay, first let's try to get that run, and then we can think about winning. But first, because our main dream is to qualify for the World Cup, so we're like, first let's try and get that runs.
I'm not making a big statement, but I want to say this on air to all the people. There was a match which happened between India and Australia at the Sharjah cricket ground, where India had to get past some amount of runs to qualify to pip New Zealand. And Sachin Tendulkar was there. That was a desert storm game. I'm sure Ahmed Raza would be aware of it.
Yes.
And at one time, India would were as good as knocked off. But then came the storm, and then Sachin's innings. I am sure whenever you get a chance, do make sure to watch the innings of Sachin's. It's called the Sachin storm. And then when Sachin scored that runs, he went for the win. That he realized that now that we have qualified, along with VVS Lakshman, he went for the win. And that's what you tried when you realized that now I've got my 156. We go berserk, bang, bang, bang. And then sad thing that you couldn't win. You lost by 2 runs. Tell us about that last special over, 24 runs which you hit.
Yeah, to that last over is I keep looking at it again and again, because we need 27 to win and we got 24 runs. But then, yeah, so I was like, first let's try get these 12 runs as soon as possible. So at least we secured the qualification. So if I'm not wrong, I think we got the first 12 runs in the first 3 balls. And then the next 3 balls, of course, we were looking for the win. And the next 2 consecutive balls went for 6. And then last ball, we needed 5 to win. And no, we needed 5 to win, I'm not sure. And then, yeah, the fielder saved it, the boundary rope. It was 2 centimeters away from victory, but yeah.
But at any time, 8 runs to get in the last over, was that fear in your mind that no, if you play a loose shot and you get out, it's all gone. You might get knocked off.
Yeah, I think that was the risk and reward. End of the day, we had to get qualified for the World Cup, and then we lost few wickets, we lost few batsmen, and at that time it was just me who was batting with not tail enders, but of course all rounders. And that ground wasn't very easy to start hitting from first ball. So I was like, let me back myself, let me keep the strike and try get the team
So
over.
you hit the boundary, if I'm not wrong, the first ball you played.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us about that shot, because I have seen that shot, but a lot of people have not seen it.
So the main thing was the wind was going straight down the ground. So I knew if I cleared the fielder, if I just go over the ball, if I hit it as straight as possible, the ball will go for a boundary. And if I get a bit of wood, it might even go for a six. So the whole over, that was my thought. Try to hit the ball as straight as possible.
So once you got that 8 runs, was that a sense of relief? Yeah, you made it.
Yes, it was. It was when I was looking to win the game also, because it would have been good if you won that game and went into the semi-final. But of course, qualifying was the main goal. So we got that.
Yeah, we could see that you were a bit gutted that you couldn't win, but then came the semi-final, Raza. That game against Nepal. Now, it was very clear that whichever team wins straight makes it to the World Cup. Whichever team loses, out of. But with Nepal, I think you have a decent record.
We do, but it's been a while since we had played a T20 international against them. To be honest, I think the last time we played a T20I series was back in 2019, if I'm not wrong, and then we played them in the quadrangular, and we beat them in the quadrangular as well. So when we were going to the semi-final, I mean, it was a one-off game, one shot at the World Cup. So the pressure was equal on both the teams. So, but we did have an upper hand because we had beaten them in the round. But they were coming unbeaten in the round stages. But when you're in the qualifiers, it really doesn't matter which number you finish in the group. It all comes down to the day when it matters the most. And I think the UAE which turned up on that semi-final, I've never seen a team play like that, and I've been playing for UAE for a number of years, and I've never seen a team play like that, and it was one of the best days of my cricketing career.
Well, Ahmed Raza says the UAE which turned up on that day he had never seen. That was absolutely a clinical performance, and that clinical performance was set up by this young lad Vriitya, who went, I think, berserk from ball one. 46 runs. What did you eat for breakfast that day?
It was just the daily egg and sausage and baked beans. That's it.
You had a strike rate of 200. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I did
23 balls, 46. And you, in fact, went after Lamishane in the first over. That was breathtaking shots.
Yeah, thank you.
And then he came back in the second over.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I may add, I think that is where we won that game. To be honest, when Vriitya walked in, we lost one of our main batters, Chirag Suri. And when Vriitya went in, and the way he batted and the way he took on Sandeep Lamajani, possibly the best bowler of the tournament, the best bowler of Nepalese team for sure. So when he took him down, we saw the shoulders dropping, and we knew that we had the upper hand now. We only had to stay on top and keep putting them under pressure. So his knock in the first 6 overs when with bat in hand, I think it was brilliant, and he set the game up for us.
He got the better of you by bowling the googly.
Yeah, he did. The thing is, so the previous over, I think I hit the same kind of shot. It was a short ball. I hit it for 4, I cut it for 4. So I was looking for the same thing, but of course he's more experienced. He's got more cricketing knowledge, cricketing brains than me. It was a bit quicker and beat him at pace, and it hit the inside edge of the bat and hit the stump. But yeah.
Did he sledge you after you got your wicket?
He sledged me the ball before actually. So he bowled a leg spin. I defended straight back to him and gave me a couple words, and I was like, I didn't get that in my head. Of course, I don't remember what he exactly said, but he did say something. And next ball, of course, he got out. They went crazy.
But you had Mohammad Wasim to stay back and score that crucial runs, which made you all reach a target which was beyond Nepal's reach, and it was a clinical performance led by the captain. 5 wickets. How was that feeling, Ahmed? T20 5 wickets is like scoring 100.
Yeah, it is, and it was my first fifer in T20 cricket, and people who follow me a lot know that I'm not known to pick many wickets. I'm someone who likes to control the innings with the economy. So getting wickets is always a bonus, and but again, it's unfair if I take the credit for that. Again, in the bowling, it was Junaid who set the tone for us in the first over. He picked 2 wickets, then picked another wicket in the third over. So he set the game, wide open for us. We just had to come and, play our part. And T20 cricket, when everyone's swinging left, right, center, I mean, you have to be lucky to pick wickets as well. So it's unfair if I take that away from Junaid. I think he was brilliant with the ball, and we won the game in the power play itself.
Well, that's absolutely right. Junaid Siddiqui set it up with 3 wickets. And then, as usual, we can see Ahmed Raza being very modest, taking 5 wickets. He says you get a slog, but you have to bowl the right ball. But tell me, Ahmed, you said you are the guy for bowler who was not known to pick wickets. But in T20, as much as you want to pick wickets, it's all about bowling dot balls. So what is that you do to bowl dot balls?
Yeah, I think that's the currency in T20 cricket. When you bowl in the middle overs, you want to dot it up, and you have to bowl in partnership with the bowler who's bowling from the other end. So I just continued doing that, and I think the first spell I was bowling, the wind was really strong and towards the leg side and slightly towards long on. So I had a clear plan with Vriitya that because he keeps wicket and we talk a lot about game plan. So our plan was quite simple, that I'll try to keep it away from the hitting arc, and I bowled 1 over and took myself out and brought Zahoor
Yes.
from the same end, and then came back again and picked 2 wickets in that over. And I think that was game set and done more or less, because that was Gyanendra Malla, their senior most player, and Dipender Eri, who's the player in form for them. So I think again it's about risk and reward. That over might have gone for maybe bigger runs as well, because they were hitting with the wind. But that's the risk you take, and being a captain, I'm a very instinctive person, so I just follow my gut, and when it comes off, it looks good, and you sleep well in the night when it comes off.
So before you went to the night, I remember it was an afternoon game starting at 2 o'clock. Vriitya, after you all realized that you all have won and you all have qualified, how was that feeling at that moment?
Honestly, that was one of
Qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, honestly, that was probably one of the best feelings ever. I played under 19 World Cup, but this qualification meant something else. And especially I've just come into the setup, but all the other senior players, this been their goal for the past 5 years, and making that happen, like it was crazy.
All right, Vriitya. So how did you all celebrate in the night?
It was
I
good.
saw you all cutting a cake, I remember.
Yes, we did. We all got, so as soon as we came to the hotel, we had a cake over there, and we cut that. And of course, we had a team dinner as well, so we all spent time with each other. That was probably one of the best nights spent in the tour.
Brilliant. Coming to the final, we knew you all have made it to the World Cup final. You all are going into the plane to Australia. But a final win is also very important. And I had asked for an interview, and I was told, no, the guys want to be focused. Raza had mentioned no interviews till the finals. I said, okay, boss, no interviews till the finals. Raza, what was that planning going on into the finals? You all had beaten Ireland 4 times before that.
First of all, Anis, my apologies for that. But as I said, I mean, the age I am in right now, and I've played enough, like a lot of qualifiers, and I've had that heart, that I didn't make it to the World Cup. So this time around, I made it clear with Adrian that I just want to focus on achieving our goal first, and I can ask for I'll ask Anis bhai to excuse me later on. So my apologies for that. But yeah, going into the final, I think the meeting we had a night before the final was really important, where we all had to regroup. We all had to, balance our emotions somehow, because there was a job to be done the next day. Again, how often do you play, in a major final or in a global qualifier final? So we knew that we had one more game to go. That there was one more push, we had to do. So it was important, and what I like to do, and which I did in that meeting as well, that I don't like to talk about travel plans, what time we are checking out, what time is the bus, what time is the flight. I don't like doing that before any last game of the tour. And this time it was the final. So because your mind can get diverted towards what's happening after the final, and you tend to get your focus away from cricket. So it was really important that Robin and I together, we got everyone together, and we knew there was job to be done, and it was again a clinical performance in the final, and beating them for the 5th time. And I think it must be a record. I'm not too sure about it, that an associate team has beaten a test playing nation 5 times on the trot.
Vidya, going into the final, 159 to chase, getting out for a duck. How was that feeling? from a high straight to a low.
Yeah, it did feel good, honestly. But I don't know, especially when I was in such good form, I expected to score runs that game as well. But as Ahmed said, as soon as I got out that day, I was really gutted. I was very angry with myself. And Ahmed said, you can't score every day. You got to be easy on yourself. And thankfully, Wasim could do the job, and Wasim played an impressive knock that day.
I'm glad I had not interviewed guys before that. Otherwise, I probably would have been blamed that no, this guy interviewed and jinxed you. But nonetheless, as you said, Wasim played that great knock. In fact, even though I was at a wedding, I was watching it regularly. And we all know when Wasim is in song, it's very difficult to stop. And like he took the game totally away from the Irish bowlers. And you all cantered, and it was a clinical win, right, Raza?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just before the game, the chat between the group was pretty simple. We knew that the huge burden of qualifying for the World Cup is off, and we knew that after they won the toss, they elected to bat. We knew they're going to come really hard at us. So as bowlers, I think we were really smart, and those two games, semi-final, final, I don't think I've led the team better than that ever. Tactically, I think personally, if I was spot on with everything I did. I think we were clinical. A scorecard might not say that because they eventually got to 160. But playing there and bowling on that wicket, we knew that was like a 190 200 wicket. So we knew that they are like 30 runs short easy. We just had to bat well, and again, what a day for Wasim, his second T20 I done, and that too against Ireland, and both of them in a chase. And we forget that he's so new to international cricket, only about 6 months maybe since he made his debut for UAE. He's a special player, and I hope he's got many more in store for him.
Vriitya, Ahmed says his captainship was not as good as he did it in the semis and the finals. What did he do? Can you tell us something? Did he bully you guys?
No, honestly, like it's again the risk and reward. The risk he took on both those days paid off, and even when he got that 5 even I was shocked. He came with the win. I was like, that's a big risk to take in that situation of the game, and paid off very well. So I think the way he led the team throughout the tournament, but especially those two games, was phenomenal. That's why we have these results. You never know. Like the way he led the team was too good.
All right, Vriitya, I've known Ahmed for a long time. He's one of the nicest guys to have in the UAE team, and one of the nicest bloke who doesn't, whose cricket does the talking rather than him doing, even though he's on our show. But we're so proud of you lads that you made this country so proud that by making it to the big World Cup where you will be rubbing shoulders. We wouldn't know which group you guys will be in and whom you will be playing against. But I'm sure that experience will give you a lot of confidence coming ahead a little more, because maybe next year then you have the 50-over World Cup, which is a much bigger platform. Of course, T20 is equally important, but making it for the World Cup is great. Now, let me ask you some fun questions. We've already done all about talking about how you guys made it to the World Cup. Now, let me first come to Vriitya. 19 years old. Tell me, are you still 19 or 2021?
No, I'm still 19. I'm turning 20.
100% 19?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Raza, what's your age? Let everybody know your age. I can see the white beard on your face, so let me know your age.
Yeah, it got darker after the captaincy. I am 33, turning 34 in October.
100%? Not the Shahid
100%.
Afridi age?
No, I was born in Sharjah, so I can't play around with that.
All right. Vriitya, let me come to you. Your favorite Bollywood actress, Katrina Kaif, Deepika Padukone, Priyanka Chopra, or anybody else?
Disha Patni.
Disha Patni. My son also loves Disha Patni. What's wrong? Oh God. You youngsters, you want to have that slim and that zero figure. Good one. Raza, favorite actor, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, or any other Khan, or any other actor?
Amir Khan.
Amir Khan. All right. I'll come to you, Ahmed Raza, again. But first, Vriitya, who's the naughtiest player in the team? I know for that, but I want to know from
you. If it's not me, then apart from me, it's probably one of the youngsters. Probably Ali Shan would be there. He'd be right up with me.
All right. But I know from inside sources that it's you, but you're not ready to confess.
Yeah.
So Ahmed Raza, when Vriitya gets to his naughtiness, what is the joke or what he plays with around? How does he trouble you all?
So his obviously his first language is English. He speaks a lot of Tamil. His Hindi is not very good. So when he speaks in Hindi, I think it cracks everyone up. And the words he uses and the dialect he has in Hindi, I think that just cracks everyone up, and everyone just
Great.
laughs at it.
You have given me a cue to ask him to say a romantic dialogue of Hindi. Okay, you got to repeat after me.
Okay.
It's a Shah Rukh Khan dialogue. Is he your favorite actor by any chance?
He's up there. He's up there.
He's up there. Okay, so there are 3-4 lines which you'll have to repeat after me.
Sure.
मैं आंखें खोलता हूं तो सबसे पहले तुम्हें देखना चाहता हूं.
मैं आंखें खोलता हूँ सबसे पहले तू देखना चाहता
तुम्हें देखना चाहता हूं.
मैं देखना चाहता हूँ.
मैं आंखें बंद करता हूं
मैं आंखें बंद करता हूँ
तो सिर्फ तुम्हारे बारे में सोचता हूं.
सिर्फ तुम्हारे बारे में सोचता हूँ.
मुझ जैसा तुमसे कोई प्यार कर ही नहीं सकता.
Can you repeat again?
मुझ जैसा तुमसे कोई प्यार कर ही नहीं सकता
मुझ जैसा कोई प्यार नहीं कर सकता
क्योंकि किसी के पास तुम नहीं हो.
क्योंकि किसी के पास तुम नहीं हो.
Now, can you translate this in English?
I don't think he can.
No, I can. I think when I close,
Okay, let's see.
when I close my eyes, all I think of you. When I open my eyes,
I want to see you.
I want to see you. Yeah.
Okay, then the second line.
What is the second line of my memory?
Okay, मुझ जैसा तुमसे कोई प्यार कर ही नहीं सकता.
No one can love you as much as I do.
Because
what is the other line after that? I need to.
मेरे पास तुम हो. Because I have you.
Because I have.
Lovely. You passed it 100%. Your Hindi is too good.
Thank you.
Anyway, Ahmed, this was great chatting with you guys. Now, before I wind up, let me ask you some cricketing questions, okay? Ahmed, your favorite all-time cricketer, international cricketer?
Khurram Khan.
Khurram Khan from UAE, international, apart from UAE.
It's not a left-arm spinner, so I'm going with Shane Warne.
Going with Shane Warne, a spinner going with Shane Warne, but in right hand. Vriitya, to you, your local international, local UAE player favorite, which you have seen coming up.
Can take my
Can
name.
you hear me?
Sorry, got stuck. I couldn't hear the question.
Your favorite UAE player.
My favorite UAE.
You have seen up growing.
Probably Rohan and Ahmed. I think I'll give it to both of them.
Oh, he's diplomatic. He keeps the captain happy as well as he keeps the Rohan the bully happy.
Yeah, but please take one name, Brit.
No. You got to do what you got to do, Rohan and Ahmed.
All right, your international player.
International player. I've always looked up to Joe Root from when I was young, but now again, not fully Joe Root. But Joe Root is probably been my role.
If you have to pick one.
Yeah, I'll be Joe Root.
In the UAE, you couldn't pick one. At least pick one here. Nobody's going to ask you why you picked Joe Root or you picked Virat Kohli.
I'll take Joe Root.
You go Joe Root. Okay. I come to you, Vriitya, again, your favorite women cricketer.
Probably Elise Perry.
For you, Ahmed Raza?
For me, would be Mithali Raj internationally. And our women's cricket, I would go with Isha and Kavisha. Somewhere there. Overall cricketer. Otherwise, I would go with Chaya, the captain. But I think overall, Isha or Kavisha, I can't pick one from our UAE women.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, these two lads, I would not say lad to Ahmed Raza. He said he's 33 years old. Remember the girls, he's just 33. And Vriitya is just 19. See, showing the ring. I'm not going to look at the ring. We're going to edit the ring. But Vriitya is just 19. So make sure that these guys are the hot properties of UAE. They are going to be going to Australia soon. I wish them all the best for all the future endeavors, what they have. Wonderful having you guys on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anisba. It's been real fun, and it didn't even look like we were giving an interview. It was fun, and thank you so much for all your support. We loved it. I mean, I loved it. Vriitya, did you?
Great, guys. Keep up the good work. We all want you to keep raising the flag of UAE and make sure that today you have qualified for the T20 World Cup. Come next year, the World Cup happening in India. That's the big one. Go for it. And who knows, after the qualifying for the 50 World Cup comes the Test cricket. That's the highest. And if you can reach there, when Afghanistan can reach, why can't you guys? So go well.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
my
Thank you
best
so much,
wishes will be
Mr.
always with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your love and support always. Thank you.
Bye bye. Stay well.